Hi folks, allow me to share the ultimate income opportunity with you from a company called Croud, or nowadays called ICT, Impact Crowd Technology. It's a company that was born in Sweden, currently being moved to Spain from where they'll operate, and ICT will eventually land up on the stock exchange. Company just shared their first birthday party in South Africa at the Durban International Convention Center. And allow me to quickly show you a small little introduction video of what happened at that event. This business is absolutely exploding out of its seams, and it's all thanks to Southern Africa, make no mistake about that. So just for interest's sake, when you join the company, here you can see how many members have joined after you through these little pop-ups that come up all over the show. Every time you see a pop-up somewhere on the map, it simply means that's a member that has just joined Croud, that have paid their fees and have joined the company. I'll explain a little bit later why that's important. But just as a little intro, when you go up here in your package or in your management system, here you can see some of these videos that you can watch. So please enjoy this for a minute.
I come from nowhere. I'm born on a small farm outside a hick town nobody's ever heard of. I was really bad at school. I didn't get into university. I had no future according to everybody else. I have done a lot of cool stuff, haven't I? I've been around the block. Now I'll tell you something that's really important. I took personal responsibility for my own future. Shortcuts in life. There are nothing that comes for free. We want to become successful. We want to take personal responsibility and have the opportunity to do something. But people don't give us that opportunity, do they? Not easy. Croud will. I have put 3 of my companies public. This is going to be number 4. I have built 3 unicorns. This is going to be number 4. We are going to supply you with the products you need to take yourself from where you are to where you want to be. And if you work hard and you're persistent, committed, passionate about what you're doing, you will succeed. Because that's the way the world works. Life's not fair, but you know we're all winners. We're all born winners. Never give up. Never give up. Never let anybody put you down, ever. Never let anybody say you can't or laugh at you because you haven't gone to university or whatever. Just prove them wrong by working 2 hours more.
You actually met through Croud. What better time to do this than to do it in front of everyone in Croud. Will you marry me?
Yes.
We're going to launch something that will affect all of you. It will make your job easier, fun, faster, totally redesigned, new functions, a new back office. When does it go live? The thing is, today.
Don't forget that you are pioneers. You are here even before we have started, before this big wave starts to roll out over the world.
It's the fastest growing company in history, and it hasn't even started yet. Are you ready for the future, Croud?
We will be compliant. We will be transparent. We will be out there to show that we are here forever. Who are we? Who are we? Impossible is...
Okay, folks, that was a small little intro just so that you can see who's who in the business. You heard from the CEO there, phenomenal guy by the name of Johan Stahl van Holstein. If you want something to Google, go Google that man's history. The unicorns he's speaking about, he's created 3 unicorns, which means turned ideas into multi-billion-dollar industries, not companies, industries. This will be his 4th one. He's already taken the company that started by the engineers and he's busy pulling that right for a listing on the stock exchange. So why is this thing growing so quickly? Well, currently we are in over 157 countries. The reason I say over 157 is because I've only seen 157 from where I've joined. I obviously can't see before I've joined. Well, currently we're over the 2.5 million mark, and we'll be hitting 3 million people very, very soon. If you look at this ranking over here, the company hasn't even started, folks. Physical gaming and gambling, which happens to be the first two companies whose marketing we do, because that's all we do. We do influencer marketing. There are no products to sell here. There's no monthly fees to pay. Quite frankly, you're either in or you're not. But we already listed 5th on the list here by one of the direct selling company lists. Now, just another point to make, we are not a multi-level marketing company, and we are also not an online company. We might get paid similar to multi-level marketing companies, but we don't have any products or services. And therefore, we are online, but we don't work like a normal traditional online business either. So quite frankly, the only description sort of best fit for us is the fact that we literally an influencer marketing company. So what have we done? Why should you consider joining Croud One? Well, in my opinion, the biggest single reason for the growth all over Africa and even in the East is at the moment €1 in South Africa hovers around the 19 Rand income mark because of the exchange rate. So you can literally work from home. You're completely mobile. You need nothing more than a conventional smartphone to drive this business. And by simply showing your friends, neighbors, family, colleagues, etc., how they can also earn an income based in euro, and how this thing could be very, very profitable for them for the minimum amount of input. We simply grow databases of possible participants for companies that want to go global, but haven't got the budgets for the expensive billboards and television ads and printed media, that also haven't got the budgets for offices and rent and salaries, etc. Now, what we've done is we've created more than 800,000 incomes in Southern Africa in the past 7 months. It's not even 8 months completely, and this is the kind of numbers where people have earned daily incomes out of this thing, daily, not monthly, not being paid whenever, daily incomes. There's no government on earth that can achieve this. There's also, in my opinion, no industry that can achieve this. So if you look at what's going on here, with this kind of exchange rate from the different markets, South Africa, if you look at the Naira in Nigeria, if you look at the Kwacha in Malawi, and also at the Ringgit in Malaysia, the yield for every single euro is off the charts. Now, here's an independent little report from a company called IPO Hub, which says Johan Staal van Holstein, he's the CEO, plans to IPO, initial public offer, Croud One, at $1 billion valuation. Guys, since the CEO has come on board, he's changed what the engineers started to a company now hosted not in Sweden anymore from a head office perspective, but in Madrid in Spain. He's moved all the bank accounts out of Dubai that made everybody nervous already to Madrid in Spain as well. He's preparing this thing for a listing, and for once you and I can become a part of something that's going to be really significant. There's no other company in the history of time that have grown at these rates that we experience here. So this is truly a once-off opportunity in my opinion. This graph here shows you that every 2 months, the Croud One membership doubles. Every 2 months, the Croud One membership doubles. And so we continue. If we carry on growing at this rate here, which means on average nowadays over 18,000 people per day. 18,000 new members means a sign-up on average of every 0.2 seconds. However, if we can continue growing like this, there should be around 20 million, 25 million people in Croud One by Christmas this year. Now, why should you consider joining Croud One? Because for every single member that joins after you in time, there's something in it for you. Now, what can possibly grow this business the way it's growing? So our first partner or affiliate partner company that decided to use Croud One to go global is a company called Afilgo. And like the name suggests, Afilgo means affiliate gambling company. The second partner that's come on board is Mixter. And Mixter is the biggest, or will be the biggest affiliate company out of gaming. So if you have any ideas or any lack of knowledge around what gaming, the online mobile gaming environment means in terms of business, well, then you should look at stats like this to blow you away. In 2018, there were 5 billion smartphones in the world. Now, that's you guys. And what did you do? Well, you downloaded more than 194 billion applications during that year. If you consider the amount of mobile gamers, there's 2.2 billion people in the globe that's doing any form of mobile gaming or gambling, generating cash and income that's hard to comprehend. The biggest issue for us as South Africans, in my opinion, is the numbers are so overwhelming. Even the CEO said last year on the launch cruise where Filgo and Croud 1 was launched on a boat trip in the Mediterranean, that the numbers are overwhelming. Even he was skeptical. But the more you come to terms with this, the more you start realizing that there's only a handful of people in the world, a handful of companies that are taking everybody's money on earth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can assure you every single one of your kids and your grandkids, even the grown-ups, are playing games on a daily basis. Now, if you believe there's something like a free game, sadly, you also believe in the tooth fairy. There's nothing for nothing, guys. If you consider the amount of games that come out on devices like mobile phones, tablets, PCs, etc., and everybody keeps telling us the lie that those games are for free. There's nothing for free. If you consider the most expensive phone on the market, you're going to pay probably about 20,000 Rand for. The cheapest smartphone you can probably get for under 2 grand, then it's a proper phone. Do you honestly want to tell me that both phones have PC boards, screens, batteries, and cameras? How is it possible that there can be an 18,000 Rand difference between 2 pieces of hardware? It's because the games and all the licensing on those phones are not for free. Believe me, you are paying 600 times more for those games than what you should have. So much for the free games. Furthermore, people like the networks obviously derive a massive income from data when these games are played. So there's a handful of people that are making all the money in the world from all the games that you play, you and your families. Now consider this. Our children consider playing games more important than food. That's sadly what this has become. If you give your kid lunch money, they will come back and they will spend their money on more airtime to play even more games. So guys, this is a method. Croud 1 has created a system which provides you and me with a method to get our hands on some of the marketing from those games, or in the gambling environment through a field go, on some of that money being spent on tickets, on bets, etc. Not all the money you pay, for example, not all 10 Rand you pay on a lotto ticket goes for the bet. Only a certain percentage goes for the bet. The rest goes for marketing, for running the systems, for paying the people that work their salaries, etc. So in this case, you and I can access that little piece of the marketing income. Simple as that. So if you look at the gaming environment and the size of industry this has become, probably one of the oldest, most well-known games is a game called Grand Theft Auto. Came out 7 years ago, and when it was released in 2013, it generated a whopping $815 million in just 24 hours. Hollywood's biggest movie in revenue, Avengers Endgame, it's now been out for more than a year, still hasn't generated that income. A 7-year-old game has created more money, more income than Hollywood's best 7 years later. The whole gaming industry started off $150 billion 2 years ago. It's heading for $1 trillion within the next year. And you and I can get a small slice of that cake. A more recent game that's sort of the flavor of the month at the moment is a game called Fortnite. Fortnite gave away in prize money last year $100 million. If you can quote any other industry that gave away prize money of that kind of stature, then I think we should consider that business. But if they're giving away $100 million, then what are these guys making? Why are they making this money? Well, because they got more than 1 billion downloads. The game Pokemon Go, very familiar game, more than 1 billion downloads. PUBG, yet another one, 1 billion downloads. And so you can go and research what the mobile gaming environment has become worth. If you look at this little graph here, the blue graph indicates the international music industry's annual revenue in billions. If you look at the green graphs, that's Hollywood's movies. So collectively, the movies are bigger than the music industry. But even if you put the two of them on top of each other, it still doesn't get to half the income generated from mobile games. So how does Croud One make its money? Well, very simple. Affiliate partners like Philgo, the affiliate gambling partner, simply goes to the companies that create all these online gambling games. Now, some of the partners already are companies like Coder. Coder is the biggest in the Spanish-speaking world. For those of you that don't know the company Coder, if you know Ronaldo's ex-soccer team, Real Madrid, that's their official sponsor or partner, I should rather say. If you look at companies like Come On in India and ProBet throughout Africa, so Philgo goes to these companies and they say to them, can we do your marketing for you? Currently in over 157 countries, instead of putting up offices. But for that service, using Croud One's army of almost 3 million people who already are in those countries, they already speak the languages, they are already connected in business and friends and neighbors, etc. For that, 50% of the profit per game goes to Philgo, 50% comes to Croud One. Croud One only retains 20% of that. 40% comes to you and me in the form of owner's rights or shares. It will very soon be called the Croud One Rewards because the owner's right thing seems to be confusing. So these Croud One Rewards typically grow in value every Friday night. Sometimes the price stays the same for a week or two, just as an incentive or a bonus, for example, over Christmas, or when we celebrated the first birthday party a few weeks ago. The other 40% comes to you and me for doing what we're supposed to be doing. In other words, growing the databases of people who actively participate in either these games or gambling for the moment. But please note, there are two companies currently, Philgo being one of them. There's 18 levels that you can progress through. And as you go along, you just start earning more money and more money for onboarding people, because that's our business, customer acquisition. That's it. So the only difference between a Philgo, where the target for us to have reached was 1 million people, which by the by is a tick, because we're almost 3 million, and then Mixter, the gaming company. Gaming is not such an acquired taste as gambling, because gambling is not an activity that everybody engages in, because it's against religion. Some countries don't allow it, etc. So gaming is a very, very select market. However, or rather gambling. Gaming, however, is pretty much everybody on the planet that owns a phone sooner or later tries out the games. And here the target market is 10 million people. So roughly almost 3 million people, growing at 18,000 people a day. This is just exponentially growing like no business. This will be a target not too far off in the future that will be executed. So Mixter simply goes to the gaming companies. Those of you familiar with Candy Crush on your phones and games like Angry Birds, etc., same story, same problem. There are millions of games that are not successful because they don't have proper marketing partners. There are literally millions of games being developed every day. These apps are just growing like no business. But some of them are successful and some not, because not all of the people that create the games, the creators, have got their budgets to go global. So all I can tell you at this point in time is, if you can picture a Netflix where you can rent your movies, which everybody's familiar with, and obviously pay according to use. But let's call it a Netflix for the gaming environment. Guys, this is starting up in less than a month. You've got the unique opportunity to get in and become a part of this thing before this thing goes global. This is going to cover the world like a wave, like a rash. And quite frankly, either you're in or you're not. But what I can tell you, for the buying in price of what you're seeing here today, as a once-off, with no monthly fees and no products to sell. We don't have to be gaming experts or gambling experts. In fact, you don't even need to be a gamer or a gambler to earn money out of the industry. This is what's happening here. But the same percentages for bringing people on board for you and me exist. Also, the same percentages from growing your Croud One rewards exist. So if you look at how we can earn money, there's 4 ways for us. First one, below you, after you in time, you start 2 legs. 1 leg with your mom, 1 leg with your dad, for example. Your husband, your wife. your son, your daughter, your neighbor, your friend, your colleague, etc. So as these legs grow, you can earn €3.60 for somebody in your left leg and another €3.60 for someone in your right leg. You will always earn something, even if you didn't introduce the people personally. However, to get to the top of all the bonuses, if you can put in 20 people as personally introduced people, then this thing can absolutely explode your wallet, not only your micro income in your own home, but also South Africa's income as a country, and change our financial status forever. As you know, we're all sitting on the brink of disaster with possible downgrading looming, never mind what's going on in the world with the virus, etc. So guys, for every time you match someone in your left leg with someone in your right leg, whether it's you personally or simply helping the people below you, there's a further €36 bonus waiting for you. On the residual bonus income, there's two incomes. One, everybody that joins after you in time, whether you know them or not, is irrelevant. So far from over 157 countries, there's something in it for you. Doesn't matter if it's 1 single euro cent. The point is, when you bring it to South Africa, it's almost 20 cents. The second one is the one that generates the income, the cash, because you can't just put people in and get money out. That's not sustainable. So even if you're the last person to join this thing on earth, and there's nobody else to benefit from that you can introduce to the system, these Croud One rewards, or owner's rights as they're known at the moment, that still grows in value every single week, Friday night. That's the one part. But for every single person we introduce that plays games, you fall into a pool where everybody's efforts contribute to the income of that pool and your percentage thereof. So even if you're the last person on earth, you can still benefit from this thing like no business, especially in countries like South Africa, where the exchange rate is an absolute killer income for all of us. So for me, the most interesting bonus is a bonus called a fear of loss bonus. Why is it called fear of loss? Because everybody on the planet is scared of losing money. So if you don't want to lose money, then simply follow the recipe. Within 14 days of you signing up, Croud One basically takes the risk and not you, because here's the different sign-up packages. There's a sign-up package for €99, which is roughly about 2,000 Rand at the moment with what the exchange rate is doing to us. There's one for $299, $799, and $2,499. This Titanium Pro package is only available during specials. It's not available at the moment, but it can become available at any time. So your minimum input, or if you do want to call it a risk, not that I consider 2,000 Rand a risk, because that's less money than what one of the tires of my vehicle costs. But for your minimum risk or your minimum buy-in for 2,000 Rand, which is €99, Croud One actually puts their risk, a wallet or a kitty if you want, of €3,000 on the table. So you risk 99, they risk 3,000 on you. What does that mean? Should you sign someone up within 14 days, on also 4 people on the same package, you can actually get €125 of the €3,000 back in your pocket. So if you're spending €99 and within 2 weeks you're earning 125, not only have you got a small profit, but more importantly, you've got 4 people in your team. If you simply then help those 4 people to also get at least their money back within their 2 weeks, you'll have enough money out of the system to be able to upgrade from a white package past the black package to a gold package of 15,300 Rand without taking a cent out of your pocket. That's called efficiency. So you can take shortcut by buying one of the biggest packages or the most affordable packages for you, for instance, up to a titanium package, one shot. But to keep us all honest and to keep us all adding to the customer bases that we grow, because that's in essence our function. Even if you buy in on a titanium package of 47,000 Rand, you will earn a fortune of extra additional free owner's rights or Croud One rewards. However, you still have to go to a maximum of 20 personal people introduced. So if you want to have access to €375 from that kitty, For 4 black packages signed up within your 2 weeks of joining, that's what you'll earn. If you want access to 1,000 euros of the 3,000, then simply sign up for gold packages. Or if you want to keep all 3,000 euros, then just sign up for titaniums. If you think that's a ship or a boat too far, well, you better reconsider that, because there's people underneath us that have signed up to 70 titanium packages over the last 7 months. So guys, I just want to go one step back. This is one of the bonuses which I'd just like to explain very briefly, because there's no other company that's doing these bonuses or presenting anybody with anything even close. You can sit in the comfort of your own home with nothing more than your mobile phone. Phone up a few friends and ask them if I would like to have a euro income. Considering what's going on in the world, in my opinion, you must be a fool not to see this business case. So what's called a 1-to-1 ratio. For every person you join in your left leg, matching every person in your right leg, there's up to 18 euros in one of the bonuses for you. And so it continues, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. But there's also a 1-to-2 ratio. So for one person on the left with 2 people on the right, then what's the name? You can actually have up to a 27 euro bonus. If you do a 1-to-3 ratio, you can have one person on the left with up to 3 people on the right-hand side, earning you up to a 36 euro bonus. So basically earning anything between 18 to 36 euros. Why does this get me excited? Because just times 36 euros with the current exchange rate in South Africa of over 19 rand. That is stupendous income, which we will never ever see again. And if the euro rand rate should deteriorate any further, in other words, fall apart, because that's what it's doing at the moment, believe me, you'll say thank you every night that you've joined this business or that your friend have shown you this business. Okay, so how do we get our money out of the system? Simple. The moment you simply put in your normal bank account details, as well as your bank's SWIFT code, press the withdrawal button, and it takes up to 21 days to release your money. You can also use a Bitcoin wallet if you've got one. If you haven't got one, you can set one up for free, and you can earn your commissions in Bitcoin format. Something I want to make you just aware of, very, very soon we'll be able to order these Union Pay Visa debit cards. Now, as a Croud One member, it means your commissions will be paid directly into one of these 3 cards. You can select between a normal card, gold card, or a titanium card. They just got a little bit extra benefits in terms of daily allowances, monthly allowances, annual allowances, etc. However, when your commissions are paid from either euro or any other currency, even cryptocurrencies, this card enables you to be able to draw it from any ATM so far in 177 countries. Now, the best way for me to describe what this card means for you and me, imagine being a tourist right here in our own country. Because you've got a euro income, you go to an ATM, for every single euro you've earned, you can have over 19 rand because of the exchange rate. Fuel, food, clothes, cars, houses, etc. suddenly becomes 19 times cheaper, guys. We will never see this opportunity again for a once-off buy-in to a company for 2,000 rand. That's my opinion. If you look at this new onboarding system in the format of a QR code invite that you can send someone where they can simply scan your code, whether they're standing behind you in a queue in a shopping center or whether they're driving past your car and you've got a sticker like this on your car, they can simply scan this code because every Croud One member will have their own unique code. And they can then, on their own phones, after scanning your code, they can learn a little bit more about what Croud One is worth and what Croud One can do for them and their microeconomy and income for their friends and families. Make no mistake, what you're seeing here today is a very, very unique opportunity. Exclusive relationships with Apple and with Google. Took 7 months to get this contract going. Google took another couple of months to get going. Nobody else can quote that. What you are seeing here is the timeline, and even for the existing members, this is what we've been waiting for. Croud One has officially notified us that from April, the first game in the form of Epic One Lotto will go live. Guys, this is not a lotto as a conventional lotto like we know. In this case, even if any one of your members in your team wins it, there's a benefit for all. So that in itself is already interesting. You'll notice that at the bottom here are the dates for the Croud One rewards, or as we know them at the moment, the owner's rights, when the payouts are set for. So basically, from May, every month thereafter, there'll be residual income for all these games that the people will play. Now, it's not only the lotto going live. Pretty much every month, April, the lotto goes live. May, June, July, etc., all the gambling and all the gaming products will go live. Now, you'll notice that there's a C1 rewards payout scheduled for June. That means finally it's the dividends from these Croud One rewards, or the owner's rights, that will become available to you and me. So every 3 months, over here in June and in September and so forth, this will continue. There is no other company that pays you and me in a euro income with residual income from every game participated in or downloaded, or any bet placed, or any other upgrade or whatever downgrade from any game that we can tap into in 157 countries over at this point in time for a once-off buy-in of 2,000 Rand. Guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, where this money is generated from, please contact the person that have sent you this so they can explain it better. But do not let this opportunity pass you by, especially sitting at home now, clamped down, and our normal businesses are crumbling all around us. This is the one that can pull us all through. Currently, all the agreements are in place in these countries. In Mexico, the agreement is with Coder. Like I said, the biggest in the Spanish-speaking world, and there you can see it's the partner of Real Madrid. It's also gone live in Colombia. Throughout Africa, at the moment, Zambia has signed up with Premier Bet. Uganda has signed up with SBA, which is an affiliate of Premier Bet. Nigeria with Premier Bet, Ghana, Gabon, and Mozambique. When you say India and you say gambling in the same sentence, it's big. And the partner in India so far has come on. One day there won't be enough place on this screen. We'll probably have 2 or 3 screens with all the countries and all the different affiliate partners. Especially now that it's all going live. It took 1.5 years to get to this point. A lot of people had a lot of faith on the table. Everything that the company has said they will do, they have done. This is a quick snapshot for you to show you who's who in the zoo, and I call this the Wall of Presidents. Now, just to show you what that means, when you join Croud One, if you want an income from the residual base of gaming or gambling, you have to basically open your account, so to speak. So by putting one person in your left leg and one person in your right leg, you can start earning money from onboarding people. However, that's the bonuses. However, for getting an income from gaming, what you need to do to become a team leader 1 is have at least 500 points below you. Now that simply means it can be 6 white packages, because you get 90 points for the white package for your friend, your family, your mom, your dad, your husband, your wife. Or it could be maybe only 1 gold package, because that's 750 points, or 1 titanium, which is over 2,000 points. However that may come, or however that may be, you need 500 points to start your account. As people grow, not just your personal people, because at the moment you don't need more than 20 personal people. That might increase when the 3rd company comes on board and the 4th and so forth. But right now, we all need 20 personal people. So the faster you get them, the more money you make, because the higher you start going up this ladder. So there's a few team leader levels, then you progress to coordinator and then to manager. You'll notice that when you get to director level, which is a little symbol like this, and by the by, you can check these network levels by simply clicking on your level currently on your package once you've opened your website or once you've gone in through the app. But get to director level, you'll notice there's a luxury VIP cruise here. Now, we don't know what this virus is going to do. However, last year in October, we were already on a cruise. We already qualified for the cruise that's supposed to have been now in May, so we'll wait to see what happens there. However, there's a 3rd cruise already for the 3rd company launching in November December this year, that's supposed to sail out of Dubai. Someone made a very good comment about a week ago. They told me that I don't think there's any CEO in any business in Sandton that has gone on 3 cruises in 14 months. I've never thought about it like that, but that shows you what's going on here. All driven through the online gaming and gambling business, and the games haven't even started yet. So guys, don't take this lightly. Excuse the pun, but don't play games with this opportunity. Everybody you see in this top row, except for this gentleman, he was the first guy to join, and he became top level, senior president right here. Now, a comment on the senior president level. Today, he's joined by these 2 gentlemen here, 2 Dutch guys, Rens and George. They've joined Bjorn on that level, senior president, which means you've got to have 100 million points underneath you. That's like 100 million euro income for this company times 3. That's the kind of money that Croud One is making. If you have any doubt where the money's coming from, the games have not even started. But once you see the income from the games, you'll then have new eyes and ears appreciating what the gambling business and the online gambling business, as an example, is worth. Now, that is just stupendous money, and no one shares a single cent with you and me. Now, if you think gambling is big, wait till you see the gaming industry. The gaming industry is 600 times bigger than any online or traditional casino game. So what you see here, these 2 gentlemen brought the opportunity to Africa. So from that lady there, this gentleman being the first 3 Africans shown this business in May last year. So far, people that have reached this level here of president, everybody on the page. So these appear all South Africans. South African, 2 ladies from Kenya, 1 gentleman from Vietnam, and 1 lady from Manila in the Philippines. By the by, the Filipino office has been open 2 months longer than the South African office in Sandton, on Sandton Square, behind Mandela's statue's back on the 2nd floor. This is another gentleman from Sweden. This is an international traveler. Here's somebody else that's just became president. This gentleman's a French-speaking gentleman. The rest here are South Africans. So as you can see, Africa is taking no prisoners with this business. There's the CEO of the company, Johan Stahl van Holstein, during the boat trip last year. This is the founder, Mr. Jonas Erik Werner. This whole thing was his idea. The marketing lady, Hannah, the chief of sales in Africa, Jonathan Strom. Mr. Peter Jacobson is the marketing director. Jan Frostner runs the Asia Pacific region. Kenny Nordland is an absolute multi-level marketing business specialist. That's all he's done his whole life. Johan Westerdahl is the chief of sales. Jens is the technical guy that looks after the system with the engineers, and they're currently still based in Gothenburg, although the head office moved down to Madrid in Spain from Stockholm. Swerker is in charge of he's the chief product officer, and he's always looking for onboarding new companies whose marketing we can do. Now, something that's really appealing for me with the system, we don't care what the companies are that come past our platform. We do not do their product sales. That's why I say we don't care. We will happily do their marketing for them instead of using billboards that cost millions with no sales generated from them. Because I don't think any one of us listening to this has ever stopped next to a billboard to write down the number or the website address. In fact, 5 minutes after passing it, you can't even quote what's on the billboard anymore. That's how effective that kind of marketing is. Last thing I want to point out on this slide is every level you achieve as you go along and as your database of people under yourself start growing as your introductions, you fall into one of these 18 pools. Now, unlike a traditional multi-level marketing company, where every month the sales start at 0, and it doesn't matter what you achieve that month. It could be record-breaking months in product sales. Next month, you start from 0 again. Now, we don't have these issues. If you look at this, when you start off, you'll be in a certain pool, and you will remain on that pool until you move to the next one. So if I'm in pool 3, it means I've actually achieved pool 1, as well as pool 2, as well as pool 3. I will never slip back to pool 2 or 1 again if there was no activity. But To have no activity, I'm not too sure what that will take. Because the thing is, if you look at the size of the online gaming industry, it is enormous. Here's a few photos to show you what Gallagher Estates looked like last year during November at the South African office launch opening that was celebrated by almost 500,000 South Africans. Unfortunately, only 7,000 could attend the event at Gallagher Estate because it couldn't handle any more people. So a few weeks ago, at the one-year birthday party, this is what the Durban International Convention Center looked like. There was roughly about 10,000 people here that attended this meeting. This is nowadays what a standard Croud One meeting starts looking like, up to 7 days a week. I've just come back from Nigeria and from Malawi. The first meeting in Nigeria, the attendance, 600 people in the Nigerian Air Force auditorium. Never seen anything like that. Here we are at the offices of Croud One. There we're pointing towards Croud One. And this is the Chief of Sales for Africa. So this slide I simply call Croud One Cars because this company makes new cars rain down on people. This is what the people do with their commissions. In my opinion, you should think very carefully in this economic climate around the globe at the moment what you do with your income, but it's some of the people, you can't blame them for buying this because this is the kind of money they earn. Doesn't matter who you look at here, from South Africa or up north in Africa, from Philippines, from anywhere in the globe. Some of these people buy 2 cars. This gentleman bought the Bakkie as well as this car. This gentleman over here buys 2 of these Mercedes at the same time. When you start spending this kind of money, you know that there's money around. Now, what this gentleman here is trying to show us is that he bought this BMW X6 M Sport in 4 months through Croud One. So how do we know that these people are genuine and not just saying what they're saying to get a bit of traction on the internet? Well, if you go to your Croud One interface, when you log in, once you've joined, you'll get a username and a password. And please note down this number. You're welcome to write down this number. How many members have joined after me since I've joined Croud One? And that was in June last year. 2,390,038 people. Please write down that number. I logged into the account now, just to show you that every time you see a pop-up flash like that one, there's somebody joining in Italy that's earning probably an income from home as they can't set their feet out of the house at the moment. Now, the point is, all these people over here have joined this business, just the recent signups. Do I know these people? No. Do I want to know these people? No. Will I take a little bit of income from each one of them? Definitely, since it's a euro income, even better. So the first of your 5 bonuses is showed to you here. Currently, I find myself on level 14 out of a possible 20, and that's worth for me 750 euros worth of owner's rights, or nowadays called Croud One rewards, per week. Why Croud One rewards and not money? Well, the rewards grow every Friday night, 12 o'clock. Their worth increases. Whereas opposed to if it had to be 750 euro, it will remain 750 euro week after week after week. I'll rather take the owner's rights that increases in value. Now you'll see that when this blue line hits the end here, 100%, I will automatically go over to level 15, which will be worth 1,000 euros of owner's rights a week. The top of that bonus is 2,250 euros of owner's rights a week. That's 9,000 euros in total per month. That's roughly around the 160,000 rand mark per month in owner's rights. That's only the first bonus out of a possible 5. You'll notice all kinds of incentives here. There's the trip a little bit later in the year that I was telling you about. We'll see what happens there. Qualification ends on the 1st of August. You'll also notice something like a bucket list exclusive trip. When they say bucket list, we're talking drive every sports car that you can lay your hands on, live in the best of the best, talking about yachts, helicopters, planes, whatever goes into that. Become a president, you could have gone on the first trip already. It's just been cancelled now with this whole virus episode. Finally, here you see that a Philgo started last year with their pre-launch period in January at 50 euro cents. So that was over here somewhere in January. I saw the business in June. It was already 71 cents because every Friday night, the price increases a couple of cents. So the pre-launch period for a field go ended in November at the South African office opening event at €2. There you can see the €2. So in other words, your pre-launch owner rights, as it was called, ended at €2. Then it became active. So far, the price there, you can see it, is €2.83. And this coming Friday, it will increase to the next level. Mixter, the gaming company, started their pre-launch at 50 cents. Also the South African office opening up in November. The prices were kept the same over Christmas as a bit of a special. And at the moment, you can see the Mixter owner rights at 99 euro cents a pop. We will never see these prices again, guys. That's why it's important that you join this thing as soon as possible to be able to grow with these owners' rights or rewards Friday by Friday until kingdom comes, as long as people play games or actively participate in gambling. So the video I showed you before, that's where we watched the video from. There's also some marketing videos around Mixter and a field go that will explain very nicely the percentage shares, which I'll play for you afterwards. So there's some of the milestones reached. There's also our Visa debit cards that you can get more information from. This is my status of the cruise at the end of the year, 91% there. That will be the third one in 14 months, if that should materialize. Here you can see my current package status. I didn't start on a Titanium Pro package. In fact, I was borrowed the money to start off on a white package of 2,000 Rand. When enough money came out of the system, by simply joining everybody you know, either in your left leg under you or your right leg under you. For every person joining, you do not only get points. So in this case, you can see my right leg at the moment is 10,890 points ahead of my left leg. So for every white package that I join up under me, I'll receive 90 points. For every black package, 270. For every gold package, 750. And for every titanium package, 2,250. So because of the people that have joined you already, and nowadays, I don't even know who these people are, because it's not just your own efforts, it's everybody behind you in time. Doesn't matter what country they're from, doesn't matter if you introduce them or not. If someone below you did, you will benefit. So because of the people who've joined here, I've already typically earned up to the €3.60 mark. And this money here, my potential bonus, is where that money comes from. So although I've earned it, I also got to do a bit of work. I also got to contribute to building the business on both sides. So if I could balance my two legs, for instance, the perfect equilibrium state, the perfect balance would be 0-0. So by adding people now on this side, I'll claw back some of these points. So for every person that you match on the one side with the other side, that's where you can earn bonuses that I showed you, the 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3 ratio, but up to €36 in total for the highest bonus. So if I want this money to come out to my wallet, I need to add some people here now. When the money comes out, as you can see there in my account balance, that's my wallet. There's €2,738 there that I can draw immediately if I want. So 80% of this money goes to your wallet. 20% of this potential bonus becomes more of these shares or owner's rights, or as it will be called, rewards. So the Pioneer tokens, those were the rewards for a field go last year while it was in pre-launch. I started on 142 owner's rights for the package I bought, and automatically it grew by 20% of this income coming out in 17 weeks up to the South African office opening up to 31,702. At that time, the cost of these things, or the value rather, grew to €2. So 31,702 times 2 is now worth €63,404. Consider that I started at that stage with 1,850 Rand, which is now 2,000 Rand because of the exchange rate. The field go then went live at the South African office opening event. And up to now, the last 14 weeks, I've accumulated 9,800 owners' rights. To see what they are worth, you simply times that value times the exchange, or rather the Afilgo owner right rate here, €2.83. Also remember, 99 cents for Mixter. So if I go back here, there we go. So 9,829 times €2.38 is currently worth another 27,816 euro in owner's rights. The Mixter owner's rights have grown to 37,000, and that times 99 cents is worth 37,191. So if you add these three totals together, 37,000 plus 63,000 plus 27,000, it's almost 130,000 euro worth of value. And now currently, with our exchange rate falling apart, you take that number, 130,000 euro, and you times it by the exchange rate, it will probably be worth around 2.5 million rand already in 8 months, not even a year. So now, considering the money that's come out of this thing, the owner's rights or the Croud One rewards being the first place of income, naturally the second place of income would be the money that's come out here. So at the moment, there's 2,738 euros that I can access. Once I do my KYC, know your customer, in South Africa we call it FICA, Rika and FICA. By simply uploading either your driver's license, both sides, take photos, or your ID card, or your old ID book, or even your passport. Take photos of both sides if it's cards and upload it. Let somebody take a photo of your face and upload it. Normally takes a few hours to be approved, unless you're selling guns or drugs to ISIS. Please don't do that. Then it's better you don't join this business. However, once you KYC'd, I can draw the 2,738 euros in my account by simply going withdraw to bank. Oh, let me just log in again. The internet chucked me out. Give me 1 second. Just give me a sec. Let me just log in again. Here we go. Right, there we go. You'll notice that you can go to croud1.com through Google, or you can go to Croud One via your App Store or Play Store, depending what phone you have. So when I say make a withdrawal, there's the money in my account. I can simply enter my own personal details here, as well as your bank SWIFT code, and hit the request withdrawal button. Some banks are faster than other banks. We seem to have better results with Capitec for being faster at the moment. I can't tell you why or why not, but that might be a tip. Also, you can withdraw your money at the moment through your Bitcoin wallet, if you do have one. If you don't have one, you can set up a Bitcoin account at no cost. So there's the money in my account. Once again, enter your Bitcoin wallet details and do a request withdrawal. Then just a note to make is once we get those cards, the Union Pay cards, you will only have to set up a wallet once. All your commissions will automatically be paid into your account. Simple as that. So when you come to your Croud One account here, also worth noting is your support. Anything you want to report, either not working or maybe you spot something in the software that's not what it used to be, then simply report it there. Invoices, that's for the taxman. So simply click there. It will show you every payment you've received from Croud One, which you obviously can print out and hand in with your tax return as a personal tax issue. So far, the people that have joined after me or the business that I've grown. If you look at your downline viewer, it's just busy loading quickly. There's a picture or a snapshot of my whole business. So you can see here what I mean by left leg and right leg. When I joined the business, I was introduced by this lady. It's my friend's wife over here. She wrote me into the business. To return the favor, we entered him again. So there's my left leg and here's my right leg. Currently, the people that you see here are all my personal introductions, and there's only 22 of them. If there's one of these packages colored in red, that means no payment has been received by that person because we don't know what the color is that they were going to pay for. So I've only got 22 personal people up until now. However, if you want to grow this fast, this is what you do. That's me. We sponsored people in, enough money came out, and I firstly upgraded from a white package like this to a black one. Added more people, money came out, eventually I had enough money to go from a black package to a gold one like that. Put more people in, eventually money came out. 8 weeks later, we had enough money to go to a titanium package. And during the Christmas holidays last year, I had enough money from people joining to grow it up to a titanium pro package. Then we added more people, got my wife a white package, that's her over here. So when you click on her, then you'll notice that there's my wife, my son, my cousin's son, my father-in-law, my other son, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, their daughter, their son. My brother, son's girlfriend, my brother, don't know that lady, there's my mom-in-law. So when you click at the person at the bottom, they go to the top, there's my mom-in-law on top, and then it drops down again. It's my niece, there's my nephew. So guys, without missing a heartbeat, one single meeting, you can add 10, 20, 30 people even if you want. Just show your friends and family this opportunity and help them to also get their hands on a euro income in these tough times. So every time you get to the bottom, by simply clicking on the last person, it will drop down, and it will drop down, and it will drop down, until eventually you get to the bottom. Something important I'd like you to see in my left leg. So there's my left leg. Myself, my friend, and my mom. Our packages went live on the same day. So when I click on my mom, she's got no personal people here. She hasn't introduced anybody in 8 months, not one person. However, below her, there's a whole lot of activity from people that have joined after her in time. So she's currently got almost 600,000 points because of this activity. Now, when you convert those points, for instance, by white packages values, which is 90 points. So 600,000 divided by 90 points. And you take those points and times it by 2,000 Rand a package. And then you also look at the amount of owner's rights that she's already earned. So my mother currently doesn't earn or qualify for any earnings from the residual gaming side or the gambling side. Clearly, she also is not going to get any bonuses from onboarding people because she hasn't onboarded anyone yet. So eventually we'll start building here. However, her value of a package that she's bought in the form of the owner's rights, that has grown every Friday night, 12 o'clock, to a whopping value that is almost 7 or 8 times more than what she originally paid. So even at a worst case scenario, if you can't find a single person to join this business, which in my opinion is very hard to do, you can still benefit from Croud One. Now, what I want to show you is these points. It's from all these, we call it spillover activity. People on top of you that introduce people behind you, and so we carry on. You can pick any one of these accounts. It's starting to look like gold and titanium city here underneath them. You can click on any person here that you want to click on. It's just becoming stupid, guys. The people are growing this business like no business. It's just enormous. All of this sits under my mom. So if her business has become worth around 4 million Rand in only 7 months, it's going for 8 months, then you can imagine what somebody else's business that's growing the business has become worth. If you want to see what it's worth, go to your accounts or your earnings tab here, which is your accounts. And here you can see every single transaction that you've earned from the 5 bonuses. If you go to the matching bonus, which is the smallest of the 3 bonuses, the 5 bonuses, here you can see sometimes you earn €3.60, sometimes you earn a little bit less, like there, sometimes you earn more, depending on the package the person has bought. However, if you want to do the calculation, take the average of €3.60, 3.6 euros, times 15 transactions on a page, times the amount of pages. Now, if you lived in Europe, that would give you an answer in a euro income. So the long and short, this total here times the current South African income of over 19 euro for the 19 Rand per euro gives you a whopping amount of income. So if you want to see the bigger payments, you go there. You can get up to a 36 euro matching bonus. Same story for the calculation. €36 times 15 lines or line items times the amount of pages times the South African exchange rate is scary money. If you look at these sort of totals, that will give you an idea what this can be worth for you in just a few months. So where does all this money come from? Well, if you go back to your account, over here are the partner companies. There's a Philgo, the gambling company, Mixter, the gaming company. There's a bit of information about our cards coming. Once you go to a Philgo, you'll notice that we leave Croud One's website and we go into a Philgo's website. So there's my Croud One wallet if you want. It's just like online gambling. In my wallet, there's money that doesn't even come from my pocket, which if I do want to engage into gaming, I can access and do so. There's the partner companies. There's all the sports betting affiliate companies. There's your more traditional casino type games, roulette, poker, mahjong, blackjack, etc. These are the lotto ticket sellers on the globe. These are the games that are going live one by one, guys. So there'll be lots of partners that will be introduced over the next few months. There'll be lots of places to earn income from. This gaming calculator will give you an indication of more or less what your worth can be for the monthly income around a Philgo. So if you look at the amount of players, if we do all our jobs basically, so to speak, as influencer marketers, growing these databases of people, by influencing a single player that only spends €20 in a month, and you're still sitting on network level 1. Remember I said network level 1 is all, or the network levels are the only thing that really matters for the residual income. That will typically give you an income at the end of the month. I showed you on the timeline the monthly income of around €71. Now don't pull your nose up for €71 because times 19 for the exchange rate, that's around 1,300 Rand a month. Just leaving school with no job to go to, that's called survival. But look what happens just when this starts growing with a few more introductions. 5 players, €20, up to €50. Network level 1 starts giving you this kind of income. And so it grows. Just to show you how it scales, when you go to this sort of network level, this is serious cash in South Africa. That's 50,000 Rand at the moment. Once you start going through these levels, guys, to show you some of these incomes, conventional jobs will not create this income, not in a lifetime. That's why you can do this business with or without your leaving your current job. If you do not have a job, you can make income that conventional jobs cannot create. If you look at this kind of income, and considering we're only halfway, then let's see what this thing can do once we take it to the top. So 10 players, €100, put you back in your sleep mode here, just waking up in the business. This is almost 60,000 Rand a month. This is serious income, guys. Can't ignore this. Take this thing up here, I'll show you how it scales. Some of these levels, my current level is around here. This kind of money in conventional business is just not possible. It's as simple as that. So once you go up here, then the long and short, this thing ends around these levels. Is that possible? Let's go see. If I take you back to my account, let's go see what the number was where we started versus what the number is at the moment of members that have joined this business while we're having a chat here. Considering it's a Sunday evening, so at the moment, there's 2,408,867 people that have joined. So it's 2,408,867. Minus when we started, 2,390,038. While we're having a chat here, oops, let's see again, it's 240,8867 minus 239,0038. 18,000 people have joined this business. This is ridiculous, guys, on a Sunday evening. If you look at the rate the people are popping up, it's less than a second a pop-up. This is crazy. Guys, get yourselves into this business. If you want to join the evening online Zoom sessions around 7 o'clock every night of the week, that will go out on the WhatsApp groups, please send them to as many people as you know so they can tap in either from their mobile phones or from any internet connection to join this business or to see what's going on here. Otherwise, we simply need your full names, surname, email address, street address, telephone number, and your date of birth. Also with a payment to one of the bank accounts that the guys will advise you to. But get yourself into this business. Thank you very much for your time. It's really appreciated. Don't play games with this opportunity.